What's going on, everybody? Hey, you get a chance to finally see what I look like when I'm shaved. Oh, yes, that's right. It's all gone. Figured I'd come on here, kind of talk about it, give a little bit of an update on what's recently not really happened, but that's what I do. I try to make a video every day, sometimes twice a day. So this morning, I kind of went over a little bit of my situation with my relationship. So I figured I would go over more data about my relationship that just clued everything in, just seems to give me the final answers on what I'm dealing with, what I'm experiencing. So I don't know if I mentioned it in the first part. If I did, cool. If I'm doing it again here, fine. But I made a list of all the things that I've been experiencing just negative with my partner, just to have perspective. And I was going to start a list of all the positive things, but there's damn so many negatives. If I go to positive, it would be an insult. Okay? I am purely disrespecting myself just to allow that little bit of good to trump the massive list of bad. And why did I make such a huge bad list? It wasn't like I was just fishing for. Well, I did somewhat fish. I can't tell a lie there. So I was fishing to find all the rough stuff that I could just so I can examine it. Here's the thing though. Whenever I compare and contrast this to a covert narcissist, which is what I had as a previous ex, which is what caused me to basically get out of that relationship. I did that one a little bit more intelligently. This one is just more like, okay, well, I've identified what it is, and I feel like I have a lot more tools in the shed. Before, like, I couldn't speak to you the way I'm speaking right now. I would be an emotional wreck because I hate that you got to feel guilty to even mention that my empathetic side. Like, look, if you're empathetic, you're empathetic. So I will say that yes, I'm empathetic, but usually my empathetic side would cave, feel like shit, remove myself from the rest of the public. But on this accord, it ain't happening like that at all. It's like, oh, I see exactly who you are, and I'm debating how much I want to play the game back, how much I want to play the game in reverse. And I don't really like getting in the mud with the pig to get dirty. Ah, you just say to yourself, sometimes people don't deserve it. When you do something to someone else, you get done too. I'm like, I don't really, at this point, I don't care. What I have done, though, in my mind's eye, is I've seen how I'm in this phase of discarding, whatever, disregarding, kind of dismissive, pushing me to the side. And I have taken full advantage of that opportunity that has been given me to be put to the side. I'm like, okay, yeah, you don't want to talk to me. Cool, fine. It isn't like I'm out surfing for women. I wasn't looking for a woman when I met her, and I never forgot that. I think people get in these relationships and they automatically just start letting their guard down a little bit more, until eventually they even forgot who the hell they were prior to that bond or whatever that is. And when they find that little speck that you've turned a corner, that is exactly when all the shit happens. I know exactly what occurred. I sent her this message. It was a very toned message, and I know the words I used. I said, I tremendously love you. Can you imagine what the narcissist in her is thinking? Like, oh my God, I've got full control over this ship. I got zero response back. Every other time before, response. Now, nothing. And somebody might say, well, that's some beta male type shit. And it was. It was the conveyance of how I was feeling. I thought we were in a good, loving moment to share something. Hell, we've shared other things before, and we just don't prioritize a whole lot of the phrases and words. But when I phrased it that way, and I kind of gave it this whole big thing that you've done a lot in my life, and you're like a good rock and pillar. I assumed the role of the female. She took the role of the guy. Say, all right, cool, bitch. And I was treated as such. Now, here's the thing, whether you're being a beta male or an alpha male, it does not give the other person any leeway or room for them to treat or discard you the way that you get discarded if you're trying to be nice. Look, and I'm not saying that nicety is supposedly a winning trait. I really I monitor that whole thing. Because couldn't nicety be manipulative? Was I trying to be manipulative? I could tell you from my standpoint, I didn't feel that way. I just wanted to let the other person know that who I love, that she's really helped me, benefited me in some capacity. Maybe it wasn't over the moon, but I really wanted to give her a boost to let her know that she's special. But could that have been manipulative? Could that have been me sending a message of reassurance? See, I think empathetic people, if you're like me, and you say, oh, that would be nice if I heard that, I'll send this to them. You may not know that you're actually engaging in that same behavior for which you might even hate oppositely, which is manipulation. You might be engaging in it not knowing it. And I feel like I might be probably guilty for this. And somebody might say, oh man, you're second guessing yourself. You know, they get into gaslighting all the damn time and they make you really, question who the hell you are. Look, I'm telling you right now, it bears some consideration. It ain't always the other person. You've got to take some ownership about where you place yourself at in this roller coaster ride. Because the rest of it is full on legit. I cannot say like, oh, well, I did that and then I probably did this to cause that. No. I have experienced this bullshit for almost a year. She doesn't want to strengthen the relationship. She's not interested in building things. She likes to use me as a piece of eye candy to take around, shoulder candy, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just this guy for events that make her kind of prop her up. Because I have a certain amount of prestige in the area. I'm recognized a little bit. So that kind of makes her valid or something. I don't even know if they know they're wasting their time. I don't really care. I think I've wasted my time. I wasted a whole year that I could have pursued my goals. So whether or not I was, let me see if I can phrase this correctly. Whether or not I wanted to play a game and figuring out, is this person really going to be like this? Are they, I'm going to wait long enough to discover if they're going to be a different type of person. Because I haven't got a chance to really know her. She's always kept at a distance. Everything had to be sunshine. And she even said that she's doesn't know she's willing to let me see this other negative part of her. She's not really sure she wants that part opened. And I'm like, damn. When you gonna fucking wait till you've got me and then shit all over my face? Like, well, I might not be able to take it now. I'll be able to take it later. That's manipulative. But whether or not I was interested in playing that game, which I was like, let me see if I can maintain my sovereignty, my anxiety, and everything else in the process until I know more about this girl. I have my suspicions, but I want them to just come out pretty much crystal clear. And I have it now. I have more data than I care to have. I mean, it's all there. She said she does this to all of her family. She's the black sheep of her family. Whether or not she portrays herself as the kind, sweet Sharon, she's got a pretense to upkeep. And I mentioned her name there, but this is my experience. This is what I'm going through. So, what is the end result? I lost time. I invested in this experience. Maybe I didn't always go completely into the person. I did care about, oh my gosh, I cared immensely about her. Don't get me wrong. She went through this kidney thing. I cried. I was not very happy about it. I cried. I didn't really shout my emotions because it's always very touchy with the communication. Like, don't give a fuck about me. If you give a fuck about me, I might run away. And that's the manipulative tool that is deployed to where you can't even do nothing with the situation. You just kind of have to sit there like, okay, well, how you doing? You okay? You know, you need any help? It's just like pity. It's like pulling energy. Sucks. It really does suck. But when I went through that, and then of course I met with her, and then I gave her that message, I was at my weakest and turning point where I lost my safeguard. I basically was like, okay, we haven't seen each other in 3 weeks. There has to be some momentum, some powerful rebound, rebuild. Didn't matter. Didn't matter at all. Because all of that, whatever that was read and disrespected and crapped on, and then said to say something like, oh, and things are all just freaking different, and you're the source of it. I ain't even going to tell you about it. Like, when we're going to have a discussion, you say we're going to have a discussion, are you going to just leave me like that after your alcohol bout? That's... Nobody deserves to be given silent treatment. And I've been in one, and I've allowed it, and I've been trying to monitor this and learn what it is. Now I got what it is. I'm going, damn, again? I should have caught that at the beginning. I probably did, but I just kept wanting to see it more clear. Because they're crafty. They're good game artists. You know, they're playing a good game. Good, bad game. And she's got 10 years plus experience on top of that. So, I'm dealing with a pro. I'm dealing with a champion. But again, their tactics and antics get more exhausted. I think they get more exposed as they get older. That they start dropping that immaturity shit really fast. And it seemed like more of the red flags were more clear than if I was to start with her maybe 10 years ago. Whatever. At least I'm here now. And I'm making these videos. And what I've done now, and I've wasted this time that I could have pursued my goals, dreams, ambitions. I was already on track to do some of those things. And I let this be a beeline and sidetrack me. Get involved in their little minutia of a world, and they could give two shits. They just like that I'm a supply line, and never really get more into my world. Never bothered to invest, never bothered to request. It was just more like, yeah, I don't really care about your side of things, but please come over here. Please be over in this pot of mess. And it just sucks. It is what it is. But thank God I'm here. I'm pursuing a lot of my dreams. I haven't done any of the actions yet. Well, let's say it like this. I have set my steps for tomorrow, but I have done the things that I set out to do today, and I think even more, which was clear stuff out of part of my space in my house and get that kind of straightened up and moved out of here. Because I haven't had the opportunity in the last 3 weeks. I've had my daughter, and things have been kind of a little bit, you know, I've had to spend time and give energy there. So I was a little bit displaced. Plus dealing with her, you know? So that other energy overlapped that. You can't think straight to even just go ahead and do stuff. If my mind was more clear, I probably would have taken a lot of the activity I've done now with my daughter. I would have said, okay, here's what daddy's doing. Check it out. You want this? Oh, let's get rid of that. It would have been a joint experience. Instead, I've had to wait till this. And for me, it's like, it's okay. What I don't want to do is wait 10 years, 5 years. I don't want it to last longer than it needs to for me to get the freaking message. And that's for anyone that's dealing with some kind of covert narcissism crap out here. You're getting a first-hand testimony right in the mix. But I've regrouped tremendously just because there's a lot of great content out here on the subject matter. You're just hearing somebody's blog or something about what they're going through. And sometimes you can relate, sometimes you can't relate, sometimes you got a different situation. But for me, I went through it. I benefited from knowing how to get out of these situations. I made like a nice little list of things and activities to keep my mind off of that battlefield. And I almost was like picking one where, oh, I'll just drink up. I'll just have some. I don't mind to drink some of my problems away for a night, and then I go back to whatever and I try to recover for the next few days. But in this scenario, I was like, I'm not gonna drink. Nah, it's not worth it. I just want to keep my energy solid. I want to build upon that and just keep moving forward with some positivity. And it's worked out well. I cleaned out all of the section there. I went and bought bins. I repurposed those, labeled them, got all the stuff I'm going to send down to the shelter, put that down here. I moved everything around, and it's cleaner. I've heard that people talk about this clutter effect that is left from the aftermath. And I had like a mild clutter. I probably had clutter before her. So just being honest, straightforward. But now I feel like, okay, I'm back in this freedom mindset. I'm free. Like, she doesn't know that she has extended that freedom. She's created the solution to my problem, thinking she's creating a problem. I love it. I love it. And it's like, I get a chance to go on and do some damn positive things because I have a lot of great things and goals I want to do with the rest of my life, with other people, and this world. And if I get a chance to spark that energy, it could be a very exciting time. And it's going to be challenging. It's going to be a little different. I don't go and just go after my goals. I want to go after my dreams. I want to do this. So I did my little meditation upstairs. That went really well. Probably better than it's normally going through. Did a really good session. And during it, I came up with just turning off my phone. Turning off my phone is something I do not do. I have it on all the time. I know all the bad stuff that having a phone on does. Doesn't matter. I turned it off and I'm making this video with it off. It's so comfortable. I've been very sleepy, but I knew I needed to make a video and post it. And so I do these really fast. Hey, hats on to my man over here, Alex Ormazzi. Just keeping it real. And if I can keep that as a backdrop for me to stay motivated, his content behind me, I got a winning shot. We all do. You all got a winning shot. Just don't let these narcissistic people hold you down. I hate to say it like that. Nobody knows what the hell they're going to do or why their level doesn't cross a certain range of maturity. Don't try to figure it out. It's not worth your time, energy, and life. And they're certainly not getting anything. They can go a lifetime making somebody else miserable, and they're just playing a game. It's like they're stuck in high school. It's okay. Maybe that's just part of their life path. You know, I thought of something on the way home today in the vehicle. I was like, the Creator provides whether or not, the Creator provides for either side, good or bad. The Creator will make a way. No matter what, the Creator will make a way. Somebody's going to say, well, that person's going to get it in the end. Or they may not. They may like going off and they might have benefited from using you as a narcissistic supply just to show you. And it's becoming a dominance thing for sure. Because she has to echo how she's progressing through work and da-da-da. Like, whoa, man. Like, okay, so I'm an idiot. I suck. All that kind of shit is what I'm supposed to take on. Instead of me like trying to congratulate her and be like happy for her, and then I'm like, man, you're inspiring me to go ahead and do my thing. And then and when I did that, it was like, oh, whoa. You need to we're not gonna congratulate and clap for you. I don't know if I even like that. You sure you're doing the right thing? Like, they start looking at you like you're an idiot for doing what's in your heart, and they're supposedly the catalyst and inspiration for it. And they don't care. They're like, no, maybe I should pull back. Maybe I shouldn't even do that tactic. Because it actually had a negative effect. I wanted to make sure he knew I was on top dominating. Not inspire him to actually start to come up and rise to the occasion, match me and maybe go ahead. I'm sick of stupid like competition. Competition energy is low level crap that can stay here on this planet. It's been infiltrated incorrectly by some. I just think it's a certain level of that that's pervasive in our society. And collaboration energy trumps it. It smacks it down. And I'm betting on the human race. I'm betting on this planet that we're gonna wake up to the wise wisdom of collaboration and working together and getting things done together. And when it comes together like that, this type of energy that is there, it doesn't have a space for it. It has to be relocated to its little corner of superficiality. And I've learned it now. I'm going to be very superficial going forward with her. It's not going to be anything in depth. I don't have a... There's not even... I've pulled back way more. I'm so much more guarded now that my phrasing and my disclosures is going to be minuscule. Don't care. Got stuff I need to do. Maybe I accomplished winning a great deal on a contract. I'm not going to be sharing that with her. I'll share it with you guys. How about that? You know? Maybe that'll go somewhere. I don't really care. I'm just making these entries, these journal blogs and vlogs, you know, because I like to get out the message. But I'm not going to waste everybody else's time with the evening. Thank you for listening. Get a chance, like, subscribe, forward it, share it with somebody that's going through it. Maybe this will be helpful for them. They want some ways out of this. My advice for anybody trying to get some resolution about it is just to look up stuff on YouTube. I've said this in the past when I was going through my first narcissistic relationship. I said, just go and look online and become informed. That way, because this is a very common energy. It's an immature energy. You probably were there at some point in your lifetime. You probably were there when you were younger. And so you might have developed out of it as part of like a maturation process. But they don't always get that opportunity. Like they make it to like grade, I give them grade 10, 10th grade. They make it to 10th or 11th grade and they don't make it any further. So what? What you gonna do? You can get pissed off, man. I don't get pissed off. You get pissed off at yourself, but you shouldn't beat yourself up either. This is classic. Once you look at the content that is online, it will tell you everything that you need to know. There's too much good advice out there that can say it way better than me. I am just a testimonial. And once you get some leverage on that, maybe you make your list of the things that are bad. I think that was a helpful thing for me. It put me in very, very good perspective. I did talk with a friend, and she's like, I think I may have mentioned this on a previous video, but she's a clinical psychologist for like years and years. And she evaluated it and put it together pretty fast. And she's like, man, you ain't got no time to be dealing with that in your lifetime. Like she's older. She's my mother's friend. And she gave me great advice. And she's like, one line that her grandmother told her is like, I can do pretty bad on my own. I don't need any help doing it. You know, I don't need any extra help doing that. You know, we do pretty bad on our own, but why we need extra help feeling bad? Nah. And doing bad? Nah. So I thought that was good advice, and she's got a point. No reason to go through all that. So phone's off. Lights are on right now. Have a good night. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next video whenever that's time. Peace.